Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, May 22nd, 2019. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Welcome back to another Recap Wednesday. And as I'm sure you know by now, last weekend was one of the most highly anticipated shows of the entire season. The granddaddy of them all, the Spring Spectacular. Yes, I'm talking about the New York Pro. And just as we predicted here last week, the Arnold Brazil champ Juan Morel brought home the gold in spectacular fashion, narrowly edging out his former training partner, the Brooklyn Beast himself, Hakeem Williams. In the 212 division, Ahmad Ashkanani brought home the gold in a very controversial decision over crowd favorite and super shredded Eduardo Correa. This show had a gigantic classic physique lineup, one of the biggest I've ever seen. But none of that mattered to the child prodigy, Keone Pearson, who proved yet again why he is the #1 prospect in the division right now. Third-year pro Kyron Holden continued his incredible 2019 campaign by scorching the earth, Game of Thrones style, on his way to the win. Jessica Reyes Padilla was as good as ever in the figure division, where she outpaced a solid lineup for the victory. And rounding out our coverage in the bikini division was Italian smoke show Mariello Pellegrini, who pulled it all out in the last minutes to secure the win. Before we move on from the New York Pro coverage, I want to take a look at the most exciting storyline of the entire weekend, which was the battle in the 212 division between Ahmad Ashkanani and Eduardo Correa. First, let me start by showing some love to Ahmad, who was bigger than we've ever seen him in his big victory. But I don't want that to drown out how incredible Eduardo Correa was. To be honest, he looked like the old Correa who was the Mr. Olympia runner-up a few years ago. He was super sliced and diced, and he was easily the crowd and fan favorite. This was certainly a preview of what we will see on the Olympia stage come September, so stay tuned. Of course, we have to follow up that story with an update on Derek Lunsford, who seems like he's the people's choice as the heir apparent to the 212 throne right now. A few weeks ago, Lunsford and his team announced that he officially has started his Olympia prep, which means we should be seeing plenty of updates and oh my god moments over the next few months. Hey, this kid is special. There's no debate about that. But this is bodybuilding, and that means there's no such thing as a sure thing. I can guarantee you that. But I do know that it will be a whole lot of fun watching these three battle out for positions over the next few months as we start getting closer to the big Olympia day. As I mentioned not too long ago, the classic physique lineup in New York was one of the biggest that I've ever seen. And had Chris Bumstead been on the up and up, maybe he could have jumped into that bad boy to make things all that more interesting. But unfortunately for Chris, it looks like he'll be out of commission for a few weeks while he recovers from a hernia surgery that he had a few days ago. As of today, I haven't heard anything directly from Chris or his team about what their plans are for the rest of the season, but we will keep you posted on any new developments. But for now, let's all wish the big guy a big get well soon. Hopefully this only ends up being a minor bump in the road. And finally, we're wrapping up today's show with a new update from Santi Aragon, who's only a few days away now from making his season debut at the Puerto Rico Pro this weekend. As far as conditioning goes, Santi seems like he's pretty damn close to being at his all-time best right now, if he's not already there. That usually bodes well for him, because when his conditioning is on the mark, he's always a top 5 guy. On paper, this lineup in Puerto Rico is shaping up to be pretty interesting, so it'll be fun to see where Santi fits into this whole mix as things start to clear up over the next few days. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.